Okay, so again, background noise. Can't do much about that. They're changing my voice. The plan is to rally, so people can help me read these things, help me organize my notes, and to vouch for me and bear witness to the things that they're doing, and to put pressure on police and society to compensate me and stop persecuting me, what have you. And I'll pay people according to what is fair, right, for their time and for nothing else. Okay. All right, and with the risk considered, so on and so forth. Okay, so here we go. I left off with the food gained, you know, Satanists arguing that food gained by fraud tastes sweet, but one ends up with a mouthful of gravel. You see in Proverbs 9, okay, where it said that folly is an unruly woman, and she's simple and she knows nothing, and she calls out to people saying, stolen water is sweet, and so on and so forth. So it's stupid, okay? It's stupid to cheat God. It's stupid to make a mistake, right? Mistake, missed a key, okay? And a key meaning earth energy, key means the planet, the earth deity, what have you, in Sumer, and key is also known as G as the earth deity in the Roman myths, okay? So 18, plans are established by seeking advice. So if you wage war, obtain guidance. A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. Now the difference between that and this is I'm getting the message out. Okay, I know that I sound weird quite often, perhaps more often than not, certainly a whole lot. But the message is too important to care about that, especially now when everybody looks weird. I mean, show me a female that looks normal. Show me one single attractive female that looks like she has sense. I haven't seen one in years and years and years. Okay, pretty straightforward. All right. So where are we here? Or another person, besides my dad, All right. Another guy, rather, another man. All right. If someone curses their father or mother, the lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness. They're talking about God and Mother Jerusalem in the spiritual realm with God. Inheritance called too soon. Inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end. Do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, and he will avenge you. Saying God or Christ will punish them, while in the way of righteousness along the path of justice is not the same thing. Okay? God said, vengeance is mine, and I'm God's son. So yes, that is my duty to point that out, that I'm going to punish people forever according to their deeds. Okay, and of course, we see the story of, we see in the New Testament, Jesus is talked about as having a winnowing fork, which is a pitchfork. So these people who are liars, they try to make it seem like the devil punishes everyone forever. No, the devil punishes people on earth in a way that is unfair, okay? But he punishes the wicked too to some degree. And it is Christ, it is I who punish everyone forever. Look it up, the winnowing fork in Christ in the New Testament, okay? And leave it to them to try to, and they do the same thing with the false image of Jesus. They try to confuse things, right? The devil is the deceiver, okay? And that's one of the main places, right? Satan likes to play God, and that's part of it. All right, where are we here? Okay. The Lord detests differing weights, and dishonest scales do not please him. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How can anyone understand their own way? Not, directed by the Lord, not by bitches with technology that should pretend to be doing something as they have inferior DNA. See, the reason why I take these shots of them is they do all kinds of stuff behind the scenes, and that calls for that. I do not speak with a lisp. They are causing that to occur. It's very childish. You wonder what kind of disgraced forefathers and foremothers they come from, to where they think they should make a mockery out of the most righteous person ever lived. Just weird neo-colonialists, weird rapists, just weird cowards, just cowards. Only a dumbass thinks that if you mock the most righteous person ever after they portrayed Jesus on the cross being mocked, that magically you're winning or something. Just dumb fucks. 25. Okay, it is a trap. I meant to put the word trap. It's a typo. To dedicate something rashly and only later consider one's vows. They fall into their own trap when they try to set me up or set up the righteous. A wise king winnows out the wicked. He drives the threshing wheel over them. Obviously, I'm righteous, okay? So the threshing wheel, right? The winnowing fork, one could consider it in a sense at least the threshing fork. Okay? So again, a wise king winnows out the wicked. He drives the threshing wheel over them. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? Over here, when a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out evil with his eyes. So he sits on the throne to judge, winnows out evil with his eyes. And again, I tell you, Where a wise king winnows out the wicked, he drives the threshing wheel over them. The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being. So the wise king notices your spirit, and that's what I've noticed, and everyone else is in the spirit of Satan, but my parents are blameless. Love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. Okay? The glory of young men is their strength, gray hair, the splendor of the old. Blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings pure the inmost being. Okay, so obviously, I'm right about so many things. I'll tell you right now, every attractive female not in my family on the planet deserves to be flogged, as does everyone outside of the divine order. Okay, to be flogged thoroughly. The punishment must fit the crime, and a laundry list of punishments why they try to redeem themselves as well. But obviously, I'm not going to do that. There's a bunch of bitch ass money. You know what? Part of why I despise Western culture is because they have the nerve to sink to the lowest level of masculinity known to man, the most pitiful state a male can be in, to try to tell me what to do, to try to act like a slave master. No, I'm in charge, and I'm not going to do that. Well, are you sure about that? And you don't have no idea how these people are bitches. These people, I promise you, are bitches. Anyway, where was I? Proverbs 21. 1. In the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels toward all who please him. A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. The heart. Okay? Not show arts, but the heart, the he art, in reality, morality, more reality. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed field of the wicked produce sin. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. Okay, so a fortune made, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, everyone is rich. So over 50 million people, over 51 million people in this world are millionaires and billionaires. Okay, and their wealth, right, the parable of the rich fool and so on and so forth, okay, is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. Okay, does that mean that every rich person that ever got rich got killed immediately or something? No. Only a dumb fucking materialistic worm would get that from that. The violence of the wicked drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Okay, so if their conduct, if their behavior, going back to the other video before this, is upright, then we say, maybe I should look there. When we see people conforming, we don't look there. We don't look to people who don't obey God through me to see if they have the Spirit of God. And nobody can continue my work after I'm gone. The reason why I came is to destroy the devil's work. And anyone who claims to be doing God's work after I'm dead surely is a potent devil who's asking for it and their offspring to be punished to the extreme forever. More than everyone else who's asking for it to a very large degree. Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. The wicked crave evil, their neighbors get no mercy from them. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom, but paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge. By paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge. The righteous one takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. So again, just like in Proverbs 20, the chapter before this, when I talked about how the king is supposed to judge and winnow out the wicked and drive the threshing wheel over him, etc. Okay? So the righteous one, the righteous king, takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. Why? Because he's in the Spirit of God, and God says, vengeance is mine. I am the gate in the king's heart. Well, I think that's in this very chapter. Let's keep reading. The phone's going to cut out soon. Let's keep going. All right. Whoever shuts their eyes to the cry of the poor will also cry out and not be answered. A gift given in secret soothes anger, and a bribe concealed in a cloak pacifies great wrath. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to evildoers. That's why they say a war on terror. The nations of the world are evil, especially the West, so this is why they initiated the war on terror with calculated attacks on their own nations, because they are afraid of God's justice. Whoever strays from the path of prudence comes to rest in the company of the dead, right? Prudence, scrambling to do what's right, preparing, obeying God through me, and scrambling to the best of your ability to do that. Whoever does not do that is in the realm of ill-gotten gains in the company of the dead. Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright, including in their own families. Better to live in a desert with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Okay. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. My goodness. All right. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity and honor. See all these martial art principles. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. Right? Because God is the source of the moral warrior spirit. They also find a warrior spirit because they clash with the wicked on the way. Pretty straightforward. One who is wise can go up against the stronghold of the mighty and pull down the stronghold in which they trust, the worldly mighty and their core essence and spirit along with them. Okay? So if you're wise enough to follow God, in the long term, you're going to bring down the people who are seen as mighty in this world. Okay? Who are worldly people. Okay, so you see how right after I brought up something without even thinking of it on the top of my head, okay, without remembering it, I was right a million times over when I said whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. The next verse was one who is wise can go up against the stronghold of the mighty and pull down the stronghold in which they trust. So it leads you to the warrior spirit as well. Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity. They guard one's actions. The proud and arrogant person mockers his name, behaves with insolent fury. Okay, so that's part of why they're provoking me. They're provoking me because they're mockers. And mockers are going to get chastised, and they're going to act like bitches even more. But in this case, this Western culture to such a degree to mock people. And if you really think about the court jester and everything else, you'll figure that out real quickly, right? Political satire, comedians, what have you. There's a long list. Jocks and hazing and class clowns and all kinds of mocker fools. Okay? And they all behave with insolent fury, and because they're bitches and they don't want to admit that they're bitch and not men. Men don't do that stuff. All right, where was I? The craving of a sluggard will be the death of him because his hands refuse to work. Mate-related cravings, especially as they are damning their kids as well by not being in the divine order. All day long he craves for more, but the righteous give without sparing the greedy who end up with a mouthful of gravel. That is actions of evil, and he is headed for the evil are headed for the lake of fire. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable. How much more when brought with evil intent? A false witness will perish, but a careful listener will testify successfully. The wicked put up a bold front, but the upright give thought to their ways. The upright give thought to their ways. So if a woman is upright, she can be like, I'm just going to shun him because I'm a dumb bitch. Or she can think carefully and say, he's the one guy doing the right thing and not shun me. Open and shut. Anyway, there is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. So there's no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. That's also how we know I was right about that one verse when it said that those who are wise can go up against the stronghold of the mighty and bring down the core in which they trust. Okay, the horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord.